Legendary Can-Am machines in 1/24th scale return to Pelican Park. Rules call for USRRC, Group 7, or Can-Am bodies from 1960 to 1973. Chassis are sophisticated scratch-built inline designs, ingenious hinged engineering marvels. Power comes from factory-sealed Death Star or Pro-Slot 16D motors, delivering speed and reliability.
If you didn't know better, you'd swear Pelican Park Autodrome was born in the 1960s slot racing boom. Though racing here began in the 1980s, the spirit reflects that golden era: craftsmanship, realism, competition, and camaraderie. The track, acquired and expertly resurfaced, is smooth and flowing, with varied radius turns and short straights, a true driver's course. It's surrounded by detailed scenery, hundreds of hand-painted figures, and a Le Mans-style pit area staged with model cars of the day. The people make it special. Newcomers are welcomed with advice, even a loaner car if needed. But once the power is on, it's serious. No quarter given, none expected. Success comes from preparation, precision, and driving your car to its absolute limit. In short, I love this place.
The familiar points-based Basil's way qualifying was in play. Cully turned in a perfect score of 12 points. Gary T was close behind, just a point back, followed by James with 9 and Rich with 8. Greg, running a narrow Clubman Corvette, was surprisingly quick and scored 6 points. Kevin, Gary K, and Tom rounded out the top 8. Paul and Chris, meanwhile, were relegated to the Hooligans.
Drivers were randomly assigned to one of two semi-mains. In semi-main number 1, Rich drove a clean, consistent heat to edge out Greg's Corvette. Both drivers advanced to the main event, while Tom and Gary K were relegated to the consolation race.
Semi-main number 2 was both competitive and intense, featuring the 3 top qualifiers, Cully, Gary T, and James, along with Kevin. Cully led from flag to flag, but it was far from easy. James ran a steady race, staying out of trouble to finish second, less than a lap behind the leader. Both drivers advanced to the main event. Gary T made a valiant effort to catch James, but came up just short. As a result, Gary T and Kevin were relegated to the consolation race. The consolation race featured the 2 Garys, Tom and Kevin. After an early incident, Gary T fought his way back to the front and pulled away to take the win. Second place was a hard-fought battle between Gary K and Tom. Both finished on the same lap, but Gary K edged ahead to claim the spot. Kevin finished 4th. The Hooligans were next up. From the green, Paul and Tom locked into a tight battle for the lead, trading fast laps and keeping the pressure high. Kevin had shown strong pace in earlier heats, but motor troubles struck around the 20-lap mark, forcing an unscheduled trip to the pits and taking him out of contention. As the race wore on, Paul began to stretch a small but steady gap over Tom, while Chris fell behind in 3rd. At the flag, it was Paul taking the win, Tom 2nd, Chris 3rd, and a frustrated Kevin coming home 4th. The main event featured the Roseburg boys, James and Rich, Greg with his narrow Corvette, and top qualifier Cully. The opening laps were tight and exciting, with all 4 racers running close together. As the heat progressed, Cully began to open a small but decisive gap, while Greg gradually fell back. Up front, Cully was never seriously challenged and drove a flawless race to take the win. The battle for second came down to Rich and James. Both turned nearly identical fast laps, but Rich was slightly more consistent and secured second by a small margin. Editor's note: Rich owes James a big thank you. Since the last Can-Am event, James rebuilt Rich's old tired chassis and turned it into a true handling dream.